Let's take waste management. In India, currently, the per capita generation of waste per day is about 0.75 or 750 grams a day. The US and OECD norm, if I'm not mistaken, is about 3.5 kilograms, or going up to 5 kilograms eventually. Delhi today produces something like 9,000 tons of solid waste. Less than 2% is effectively treated. Mr. Shukla talked about the waste-to-energy plant in Delhi. My company is associated with that. We are promoters of that. But I think it's a very valuable opportunity to address the government from an industry perspective. What is it we need to make some of these technologies work? And if we can then carve out an appropriate policy framework, I think there's much greater scope for engagement. Let me just talk about waste-to-energy. To make waste-to-energy work, no matter which technology you're using, German or absolutely state-of-the-art technology, you need a tariff of something like 10 to 12 rupees per unit of power produced. Now, the average grid tariff in India and Delhi is something like 3 rupees 50 paise. Don't ask me how much that in euros, because I'll be talking in cents, but it's roughly 3 rupees 50 paise. Now, if the government in India or Delhi were to allow a levelized tariff, in other words, if I produce 25 megawatts from waste to energy, that is pooled into the overall grid, and there is an average tariff which is charged. The increase per customer in tariff would be 3 paise per head. Now, 3 paise would go into 0.000 euros, cents, if I'm not mistaken. That's all it takes. And suddenly waste to energy starts making sense. I can, from the industry perspective, tell you scores of ways how this can be made to work. You take drinking water segment, which my company is associated with. The government has been very clear that about 92 cities with a population of about 500,000 to about 1 million. And all of them in the next 3 to 5 years should have 24/7 drinking water. It's a stated objective. I don't think funding is an issue. It can be done on a purely PPP format, provided, and there's a proviso, we get the engineering correct. What happened in the last 5 years or 10 years under the NERM program, they funded a number of urban water supply projects, some of which my organization has been associated with. Normally for a city of 500,000 population, you need something like 60 to 70 MLD water. That's it. You don't need more than that for 24/7. But when these projects got appraised in parts of the government, they said, no, we must have a 30-year perspective. And instead of 60 to 70 MLD, we should design it for 130 to 140 MLD. Now, the consequence for the consumer and for the producer of water is very simple. If it's 60 to 70 MLD, the water cost to the producer is 6 rupees 50 paise. The average metro tariff in India is around 10 rupees. So you can do PPP, make a good 20% IRR on the project, and you're home. No, but what happened? The government said, no, you should have a 30-year perspective. We must design for the next 30 years. So we will do 130 to 140 MLD. The consequence is that the cost of water then is rupees 13.50 to rupees 14 paise, which nobody's willing to pay.